Chapter 9. The club doors were guarded by 3 large men dressed in black suits. Each man looked like he wanted to hurt me. A line of men and women stood down the side of the building, penned in by steel stands and red velvet rope. For some reason, the image of a herd of cattle hit me as I looked at the girls in their short skirts and the guys with too much gel in their hair, waiting in their pen to get in. Excited chatter sounded from those gathered as the bumping trance music from inside teased at them with promises of ecstasy and freedom. Evan bypassed the line altogether, making his way to the largest bouncer. The man was a mountain, easily a head taller than I was and a good 80 pounds heavier. In a different life, he could have started as the center for the Seattle Seahawks. "Tiny! What's up, my man?" Evan went over to him without pause and raised a friendly hand in greeting. "I didn't know you were going to be working tonight." The man named Tiny didn't bother to return the greeting. Instead, all 6'6" of him reared up and scowled at Evan.
"You have a lot of nerve coming back here after what you pulled last time,"
Tiny growled. Everyone within earshot quieted. The other bouncers behind Tiny looked up, ready to step in at a moment's notice. For the second time that night, a rush of adrenaline hit my system. I was all about being loyal to my friend, but Evan wasn't making it easy. "Tiny, Tiny," Evan crooned, extending both arms wide. "I didn't know she was your sister, I swear, and I treated her with nothing but respect. You can believe me when I say that." Tiny curled his hands into fists, looking Evan up and down before cracking a smile. "She said you took care of her, made sure she got home safe. Thanks for that." I let out a long sigh of air I didn't know I was holding. With the promise of a fight no longer on the table, those in line went back to their conversations. The other bouncers stepped back and returned to their work. "Come here." Tiny clapped Evan's hand with his own and brought him in for a one-armed hug. "Who's your friend?" "Oh, this is my roommate John, Jonny Hunter," Evan introduced me. "Johnny, this is Tiny." "Good to meet you, Tiny," I greeted, extending a hand. Tiny's hand was more like a paw, his grip crushing.
"Any friend of Evan's is a friend of mine."
Tiny flashed a smile.
"He's been coming here since even before my time, and I've been here for a while myself."
"Big group today?" Evan asked, trying to change the subject. He eyed the number of people still in line waiting to get in the club.
"Oh yeah, there's a large private party tonight,"
Tiny answered, producing a pair of neon green wristbands for us.
"A lot of coin. They reserved all the tables. You two are good to go in."
"You're the man," Evan said. "Thank you," I stated over the noise inside the club as one of the other bouncers opened the doors for us. Tiny nodded. Inside after hours, the lights were dimmed with laser displays sweeping their way across the floor and up the walls and ceiling in sporadic motions. The dance floor was packed with people about to make bad decisions. A massive square bar rested in the center of the room. It was shoulder-to-shoulder standing room only as soon as we stepped in. Bouncers dressed in all black with earpieces tried to keep walkways clear, but there were just too many people. Evan, apparently having been a regular here, knew the way to the private VIP section of the club. He jerked his chin to me and began maneuvering his way through the press of people like some kind of salmon swimming upstream. "Excuse me, pardon me," I said with every step as we made our way to the left of the building and up a short flight of stairs. I shouted to Evan's back, "This place is crazy!" "You haven't seen anything yet," Evan said with a twinkle in his eye. "Come on, they're up here." We finally made it to a second-story room overlooking the dance floor with a railing that reminded me of a balcony. Another pair of bouncers stood here and checked our wristbands before we were permitted to enter. When we were finally allowed into the private area, I decided Evan was right. I hadn't seen anything yet. White tables were set up in the expansive second story, with ice sculptures and so much food and booze I wondered how the tables could hold it all. A private bartender stood behind a bar at the corner, serving drinks like some kind of wizard. There was actually room to walk around as a few dozen beautiful people chatted away. Even the music was dampened in this room so you could actually have a conversation. "Come on, I'll make some introductions," Evan waved me to join him. I followed him through the room as he exchanged waves and smiles with faces he recognized. I got a few sideways glances myself, but nothing unwelcoming, more curious. Some of the faces I thought I recognized from billboards and commercials I'd seen. "Hey, is that John Hamm?" I asked with my mouth open. I knew it was, but I still had to ask. "Yep, he's not one of us, but runs in the same circles," Evan explained, waving to the actor, who returned the gesture with a smile of his own. I was just getting the sense that maybe this was a bad idea when my imposter syndrome went into high gear. I didn't belong here. This was a place for the elite. I had no business stepping into this room. What if they found out? What if they knew I was trying to make ends meet doing whatever jobs I could take? What if they could smell the chicken suit on me? We passed beautiful face after beautiful face, and a woman I thought was Ellen DeGeneres. I didn't want to confirm her identity with Evan. If he responded in the affirmative, then I was really going to freak out. At the back of the room was a series of booths set into the wall. An older, heavy-set man with thin hair sat in the largest of these booths with a woman half his age draped over each arm. "Evan," the man smiled as we approached. "How goes it? I heard you're nailing that new Amazon commercial we have you on." "Always grateful for the work, Mr. Bloodstone," Evan replied. "Evan, how many times have we talked about this? You can call me Winston." Winston turned to the dark-haired beauty on his right, who had to be high on some kind of drug, with sunken eyes and a flush across her skin. He whispered something in her ear. She giggled nervously. "I just wanted to thank you for all the work and introduce you to a friend of mine." Evan stepped up to the side and motioned to me like some kind of prize up for grabs on a game show. "This is Jonny Hunter. He's an up-and-comer at the moment." Winston Bloodstone looked up from the young woman and eyed me curiously. "Haven't we met before?" Winston asked. No, I don't think we have, Mr. Bloodstone," I said, reaching across the table with an extended hand and what I hoped wasn't a nervous but approachable and friendly smile. "Don't screw this up! Don't screw this up!" I yelled to myself in my head. "This can be your big shot. Just make a good impression." "No, I'm sure I have," Mr. Bloodstone returned, accepting my hand and pumping it before letting it go. His hands were cold and clammy. I had to force myself not to wipe my palm on my pants leg. "He looks like that guy on the Life Alert commercial," the cute redhead on the other side of Mr. Bloodstone's arm cooed. "You know, he steps in because his mother's fallen and can't get up." "Oh, right. Mr. Bloodstone cackled, throwing his head back to the ceiling. "You're the Life Alert guy. I always thought in that commercial your pretend mother looks a little too happy she's getting help from you." "Yeah, she was kind of frisky in the dressing room, too," I replied with a shudder. "She kept on calling me sweet cheeks and asking me to bend over to pick things off the ground." Mr. Bloodstone got a good one out of that. His belly shook with laughter like some kind of dark interpretation of Santa Claus. "I like you, John," Mr. Bloodstone said after his laughter subsided. "What agency are you with?" "I'm with Bubba from—" "Bubba?" Mr. Bloodstone interrupted me with an eye roll. "Please, that guy's a bottom feeder. Come work for me. I'll have one of my assistants contact you for the paperwork and we'll start booking you on shoots next week. You've got a good complexion, strong fit kid. You'll do well." I didn't know what to say. I was sweating because I was so nervous. Was it really that easy? All I needed to do was make him laugh with a few minutes of conversation, and he was willing to take me in and give me work? Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bloodstone," I stammered, trying to find the right words. "That would be great." Mr. Bloodstone looked over my shoulder at someone approaching. He actually got up from his seat for whoever it was. "Ah, and there they are, the newest power couple in Hollywood," Mr. Bloodstone said, opening his arms in welcome for whoever it was. I turned in time to see Tracy, my Tracy, walking toward the table arm in arm with her co-star, Brad Connolly. My face must have said it all. A look of panic washed over Tracy's before she quickly recovered. Her eyes never left mine. "Tracy, Brad," Mr. Bloodstone moved from his seat and embraced them both. "So glad you could both make it. Please grab a drink." "I'm only interested in one kind of drink tonight." Brad eyed the two young girls in the booth, who stared at him starstruck. "If you know what I mean." Of course, Mr. Bloodstone cackled. "There'll be plenty of time for that later. Tell me about the shoot." The two men continued to talk, but their conversation was lost to me. I locked eyes with Tracy, my gaze making its way down to her left ring finger. She wasn't wearing her ring.